Hi, I'm Hector Mireles. I've been chair of the Department of Physics and Astronomy for 5 years now, and I'll be chair throughout most of your time. So I'm looking forward to meeting you in real space as opposed to virtual space. Want to welcome you to our department. There are several aspects of our department that you should know that are not exactly captured in course catalogs because your experience is far more than taking the courses. Um, I think one thing that you should know about our department is that we strive to meet the learning needs of different paths towards different careers. This includes the path, the old-fashioned traditional path of going and searching and getting a PhD. Okay, so we have great research opportunities in our department. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But we also have paths that are very intense for developing technical skills that are in need in the local high-tech industries of Southern California. And we also have an important path that revolves around the need for teachers, the continuous need to improve teaching at all levels, from kindergarten all the way through high school. And so we have a way of preparing people for that. Our research, we've got fantastic opportunities for those who can balance their classwork with this extra research. It really boosts up the enthusiasm for those who have a passion for physics when doing that. We have recently opened up the types of organizations in ours. So there's a lot of very important research that's done that's shown that the more active you are mingling with students, you're working together, socializing with students, it actually is a measurable improvement in success. To that end, we have an entire space. It's a project space, but it's used frequently, two different spaces by the Society of Physics students. So we have a place, there's a refrigerator, microwavable burritos, and 1980s vintage video games, just to kind of work homework and get a little bit of that social aspect. That's a Society of Physics students. We also have a very active, very happy for this, a Women in Physics organization. These are support groups that really boost the energy of our physicists. Of different types. And this recently, we've rolled out a National Society of Hispanic Physicists last year, where we went to a mentoring conference there, a group of us, and also National Society of Black Physicists that we're partnering together with a local schools, Fullerton, that has a chapter. So there is definitely a place for you to mingle with your other physicists of all types. In terms of research opportunities, these span the various concentrations of physics disciplines that we have. This includes, as the name implies, your degree will say physics and astronomy. We do have an astronomy emphasis available, and we have five excellent astronomers who offer various physics or research. Another strong point in our department is biophysics. And this is where we've invested in equipment and in faculty, very research active with a bio-grade atomic force microscope capable of resolving DNA. Very exciting things going on. So just do well in your classes, but beyond that, you can put a real feather in your cap with the research opportunities we have, and you have no excuse for feeling like you're alone with the different organizations we have. I wish there was a way of implanting all of this knowledge as soon as possible, so I'll do the best that I can. I think that a freshman should know that the physics curriculum is demanding, but it is doable. It is very chronological. You have to go one after another, and it kind of builds up. You're not alone, and you should not feel that physics is something you should tackle alone. you will be best finding a small group of people that you resonate with and you work together. You should also know that as difficult as physics is, the material is, and it gets progressively more subtle. It's all been done before. It's not black magic. And even if it were black magic, there are resources and books and videos and an entire technological planet that's built on these technologies and built on the science of physics. So you can find these things. You should know that there's an exceedingly amount of support at Cal Poly Pomona. It's not like in the 80s when I navigated this. We have the wonderful staff, the College of Science Advising Center, but there's layers of support at the university level as well. Different forms of mental and physical health counseling, even a food pantry. So whatever your needs may be, just know that there's something available to support you in all of the things that will face you as in your university years here. Very proud to say that Cal Poly takes care of their own in all of the things that are needed there. As a freshman, you will, and as a major, you'll immediately be coupled with a faculty advisor, and you should try to build some sort of a relationship with she or he. You can always change if you needed that, but this is very, very helpful as you progress through the years to have somebody. And know this, freshman and sophomore, these are very short years, 4 years. You're not that far away from being an upperclassman. And therefore, if you feel that a certain discipline or a certain area of the physical science world, it catches your attention, listen to that, pay attention to that, and try to guide your choices on the basis of what's really in your heart, what you like to do. It seems strange to say that when you're still taking calculus-based physics, but there are things that you can already do to foster your interest. Very soon there'll be opportunities to go in and do real research. Know that we are a close-knit department. We're a happy department. We're not huge compared to the ones in the biology, computer science. We will know your names. But we are large from a national scale. You have to know that. We graduate a very high number of physics majors of all different types per year. The envy of many physics departments across the country of our type. We're one of the highest. So know that you're in a very good department. That's everyone's there trying to keep you on the right track. Our faculty are hired on the basis of their ability to communicate exciting science and pitch it in a way that is riveting and interesting to you. All of the faculty members in our department and in the College of Science have a recent record of publication, peer-reviewed scientific publications. However, they're also selected very, very carefully on the basis of the quality of how they can work with students as well. So one thing that you'll find here that you will not be guaranteed in one of the very prestigious, PhD awarding universities around, where people get hired by the number of books that they've published, is the approachability, the way that courses are really focused on your success, the teaching quality. To that end, we have a couple of our faculty members are experts in quality physics pedagogy. We have a very strong research effort in biophysics, theoretical soft matter, as well as biological systems, plasma physics. So the sort of interface between material science and biology. This is a very, very important field. Materials such as liquid crystals in your cell phone, for example, they don't fall squarely in the old brackets of liquid and solid, and something from the 1940s. More and more, the interesting systems that are out there, everything from complex matter, liquid crystals, like I mentioned, but even biological systems. They have materials that use some more complex matter, and so we have facilities and faculty that specialize in that. We have a developing and very good computational minded research, especially using large data for astronomy. Astrophysics is a big booming thing. It's happened in the last 30 years. We've had books revised entirely because of things that we've been finding. So you should take advantage of those opportunities as well. We have very applied industrial research also. People like Dr. Abramson, Dr. Salik, and Dr. Vandervoort also. They are experimentalists with laboratory experiments that are close to those used in industry. A lot of things in our department will prepare you, and you can tailor your curriculum on the basis of what your career interests are, but everyone will have computational physics, for example, which is an essential. As the more computational abilities you have, programming things, the better you'll be able to simulate physical systems and have a computer kind of do the calculations for you. So a lot of interesting things going on in our department. We have new faculty, many new faculty that are real champions right now that just came off of a very hot postdoc work. Dr. Coral Wheeler, Dr. Brianna Binder, two outstanding professors that have joined us very recently. So these are very enthusiastic individuals with great research opportunities. Very soon, upon entering our department, you will go into a database of our majors and will be assigned, usually in the fall, you'll be assigned a faculty advisor. So we're rather unique in departments to do this, but we want every major to be paired with a faculty, tenure track faculty. There's different kinds of advising. There's tremendous knowledge at the College of Science advisors. These are professional advisors, and they're experts in the often changing but complex regulations, procedures, the way that you get petitions done, resources that are available, what to do if you find yourself in hot water. Those policies tend to be rather fluid. For those things, you'd go to the advisors at the College of Science. But for advising about, this is where I am in my journey as a scientist. This is the next semester's coursework that I want to take. I think maybe I'm interested in this field of physics. For that, you want to speak to your personal faculty advisor. They can, if you foster a good working relationship with them, they can offer tremendous useful advice for your career and for your choices like that. So you will find your using your Bronco ID or last couple digits to that, you will find a list in the department website that'll match you, not your name, but by just these last 4 digits of your Bronco ID with the faculty member who's assigned to you. They are expecting to see you once a semester. Okay, and in normal times, which it appears we're now going back to post-pandemic times, there is a hold. Our department prefers a hold such that you can't register until you have some sort of a meeting, either online or in person, with your faculty advisor. But on the website, we have a page there in our physics department website, you'll find an advising link. And that's where you can get to this list where you are listed as a major. We like to think that in these 4 or 5 years in our department that we have an ability to create young scientists in you. That is our mission in the department, is to create scientists. And there exists a culture of science, and there also exists kind of a culture of physics, the way that physicists do things, what is considered a normal, successful path for an undergraduate studying physics. And we try to disseminate this in the first year experience, but I want to emphasize some things that you can do such to really get the most out of this time in our department. First of all, you're not going to be able to do any of this stuff if you don't check your emails. Okay, you check your Cal Poly email frequently, and although you're going to get lots of stuff from various shells of administrative people, and it's all important. But I have to say that if you get something from the physics department, it's going to be something very relevant, immediately relevant to you. Things like this. We offer about 5 or 6 scholarships every year, and this is money that's available to help you navigate, the next term of just being a college student. And these are available. You really should apply for these things, and we just don't have as many applicants as we wish. So there's a way of doing that. It goes through the university portal, but they are our scholarships for physicists. There's a very good opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, right now, it doesn't matter where you are in your studies. You could be, taking college trig for all I know, but very, very soon there will be opportunities. And this is something that's rather unique to physicists. This is where you can leverage being a physics major as opposed to a French major or something like that. And that is, there's tremendous opportunities, paid summertime research in outstanding universities across the countries. These are called REUs. And these are available in very, very soon, not the summer after your freshman year, but definitely the summer after your junior year, and sometimes even after your sophomore year, where you can, and your senior year sometimes. But these are grants, national grants that are awarded to large research centers. And one of the requirements in those grants is to offer undergraduates opportunities to do research. So you really should think, if you want to be a serious scientist, you should very strongly consider the fact that, summertime, especially your summertime after your junior year, you really should be doing one of these. So they're called REUs. Many opportunities. You go somewhere, they pay for the trip, the housing, give you a summer stipend, and then you end up at the end of the summer with maybe even a publication to your name, but at least a good poster session that you can disseminate. This is very, very helpful for you. And another thing about becoming a young scientist, there are very, very good seminars that our physics department offers. Usually they're about once every 2 weeks on average. These are invited speakers. They'll either come on campus or recently by Zoom, but it's more exciting when they come on campus. They're invited, they're sponsored by the department to share really exciting research that's being done at their universities, wherever they are. You may say, but I'm just a freshman, sophomore. That work is doctoral level or postdoc level. I kid you not. When I was a sophomore at UC Irvine in the 80s, I remember going to these seminars, and much of the stuff I wouldn't understand, but something does sink in. There is your introduction to this. So even when you're in a research talk and you don't understand all of it, they are pitched for you. They're pitched for students, and any questions from you are very, very welcome there. And it'll really connect the bookwork that you're doing to the efforts globally to conducting research. So those are seminars. Recently, the College of Science also has introduced a new line of research seminars. And this is research maybe in mathematics, biology, computer science. But if you're a scientist or a budding scientist in one field, such as physics, is your own field, it's not difficult to start generalizing your physical thought, physics, your scientific thinking, to understand talks that are really relevant, like the ones that we just read this week. So I just want to emphasize that there are things that you can choose to do that augment your the culture of science, of being a scientist. And these are things, they're not courses, but they're things that we invest in to make that more possible. There are opportunities to go to conferences. There are various types of those. Usually there's some sort of research is very helpful. So there are opportunities to do research with faculty. Those are most useful, by the way, after your sophomore year, because sophomore year is modern physics, and that's where you really, tie down and round out the essentials. But we are here to help you become scientists. That's what we want to do in our department, and there are ways to do that. More questions, come and see me. I'd love to talk to you soon.